All right. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to go over some examples for the worksheet this week. This one is on same thing we're doing in terms of system of equations, but we're solving these with substitution. And so the worksheet is posted on Edsby. Once again, if you have a printer, print it out. If not, just do it by hand. It's not a big deal. I'm going to do numbers 1, 7, and 15 in this video. So number 1 here. And I'm going to post the notes in the YouTube video, like under the description. It'll save me a little bit of time instead of going over it here. So please refer to those. But basically, same idea as before. This is a line. This is a line. The question is, do they intersect? And if they do intersect, where do they intersect? And that's our goal. Most of these intersect, so you should be getting answers. So where do these two lines intersect? And in the last example, in the last worksheet we did, we kind of combined the two equations, and then like a variable would cancel. Here, we could do that, but you see how the y is lined up with the x is lined up with the y. It's not really good. We can't just combine them right away. It's going to be a mess. What we want to do is isolate one variable and then sub that into the other equation. Here's what I mean. Do you see how it tells us that y is equal to 6x minus 11? Well, if that's what y is, go to the other equation, and wherever you see a y, sub this guy in. Sub this whole thing into that equation. That's our second equation that we were given. I rewrote 2x, I rewrote negative 2x. Instead of negative 3y, I wrote down negative 3, and wherever that y was, I pulled the y out, and I subbed in this whole thing for the y. And you might say, well, why'd you do that? Because now I have an equation of only one variable, and I can solve those equations. When there's two variables, I kind of have an issue. So again, you just isolate one variable, and this problem is already kind of isolated for us. We sub in, and we're on our way. So now we just use distributive property, and we solve. So again, you should be able to see from this line to this line, the only thing I did was I subbed out this y for what y was. So now from here, guys, this is just solving using algebra 1 and distributive property. So here, this negative 2x comes down. Negative 3 times 6x is negative 18x. Negative 3 times negative 11 is positive 33, because a negative times a negative is a positive. Negative 7 just comes on down. Here we would combine like terms. Negative 5x, take away another 18x. Well, if you're 5 feet underground and you go 18 more feet underground, you're going to be 23 feet underground. This is 2x. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said 5x. I'm reading the thing wrong. Apologies for that. This is 2x, this is 18x. So it would be negative 20x. I probably should make another video, but I'm not going to do that. So here we're at negative 20x, and now here we're going to get this 33 to the other side, so I'm going to minus 33 from both sides. Negative 7 take away 33 is negative 40. If you can't do these negative numbers in your head, just use a calculator. Though I would recommend, if you are using a calculator, how about like try to do it in your head and then check your work on a calculator, because you're never going to get better if you always use a calculator. And the goal is to eventually get better at this stuff. So here we have negative 20x equals negative 40. So just divide both sides by negative 20. And obviously a negative divided by negative is going to be a positive. And so negative 20 goes into negative 40 2 times. So I know that x is 2. And that's the x coordinate of the point where they intersect. To find the y coordinate, I'm going to plug this into, frankly, any of these top 3 equations. Looks like it's going to be easiest to plug into this guy. There's not very many negatives. So I'm just going to plug this number into that. So again, where it was y equals 6x minus 11, now it's y equals 6 times 2 minus 11, because we know that x is equal to 2. We figured that out. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 take away 11 is 1. And so our final answer is 2, 1. All right, so that's one example here. Probably not going to be able to do 3 examples in this video, but I will do another one. All right, that's that. Let's do number 7. So number 7 here, guys. Again, 2, 3, 4. They're all very similar to number 1. Number 7, same idea. We want to get one variable by itself. Unfortunately, in number 1, the variable was automatically by itself just right away. Here, we have to do a little bit of work. And because I see this y as positive, I want to get it by itself. I could get this y positive, and by itself, but it's already negative, so it's going to be more work. If you ever just see a positive single variable, try to get that one by itself. So here I'm trying to get this y by itself. Well, this 4x over here, I'm going to get to the other side. I'm going to have to add 4x to both sides. So let me rewrite this top equation right here. So I just rewrote the equation. And now to get that y by itself, I'm going to add 4x to both sides. And now we're doing pretty well here. Now this is a lot like example 1. I know that y is equal to this. So I'm going to go to the other equation. Don't plug it in the original equation. That'd be stupid. Not stupid. That wouldn't yield any results. When I plug this into the second equation, I'm going to then solve for x. So I'm going to rewrite that second equation right here so I don't get confused. And wherever I see a y, so again, I rewrote that equation just to make sure I'm on the same page. Because sometimes it's kind of annoying going from one equation to the other. So I'm started with this top equation. I got this y by itself. Once I did that right here, I then go to the other equation and I'm going to solve for x. And I know that. So now here, wherever I see a y, I'm going to sub this in for this y. So instead of negative 5x minus y equals 21, it's going to be negative 5x minus the quantity of 6 plus 4x equals 21. This can trip up a lot of people here. This negative is acting on the y. It's essentially negating every value of the y variable. So this negative is going to hit both the 6 and the 4x. Some people like to draw like an imaginary 1 there. That's not wrong. And so now we have negative 1. Now we just use the distributive property. So it's we're just going to try to solve for x here. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. Negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. And again, my little step-by-step guide of how to do this will be in the video notes. Because I know most people are not auditory learners and they kind of need to see the steps written out before they understand as well. But anyways, so here we just combine like terms. Let's do the x terms first. Negative 5x, I have negative 4x. Again, I use it's kind of depressing, but if you're 5 feet underground, you go another 4 feet underground, you're 9 feet underground. It's negative 9. I need to think of a better analogy for that because it's too depressing for some. But anyways, so here, those two terms combine to negative 9x. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And I'm going to have negative 9x equals 27. Dividing both sides by negative 9, I'm going to get negative 3 as x value. So that's cool. So that's half my answer because again, our two lines intersect. They have intersected an x coordinate and a y coordinate. I know that they intersect at x equals negative 3. To solve for y, I'm going to plug it into any of these equations. Again, you have options here which one you want to use. I always kind of choose the one that's simpler. To me, this top one looks the simplest just because it does. So I'm going to plug in negative 3 in for this x. And you can verify that you can plug it into either equation, it'll work. That was a mistake. So again, I had negative 4x plus y equals 6. Wherever I see an x term, I'm going to sub it out for negative 3 because I know that x is negative 3. So now I have negative 4 times negative 3, which is 12. And then I'm going to minus 6 to both sides, and I get y equals 6. Y equals negative 6, I'm sorry. Because 6 minus 12 is negative 6. So our final answer is negative 3, negative 6. Okay, guys, so those are two of the easy examples. I'll do another video, a little bit harder examples in the next video. So again, as always, hope you guys are doing well. Coming up to the end of this, guys, hang in there. I'll see you on another video. Take care.